How's it hanging, gang? Call me Kane, and before we showcase my sister Rose's art again, I have a bit of a confession to make. This, as of now, is the last episode I have fully planned, and while I could do it myself like I've been doing, I also figured that this could be another opportunity to ask for your help. If there are any plot points you want to see or any questions you want answered right away, please write it down in the comments or send a friend request to Danimal Magnetism on Discord, all lowercase, no space, like Animal Magnetism but with a D. I'd really appreciate the support. Okay, let's see the heroes now. Remember, everyone, no matter how unanimous an opinion is, even if it's a logical opinion, there will always be someone with a different viewpoint. Whether it be from a past experience or how they were raised, different opinions often stay different. On top of a building, like very usual, long time Red Rabbit was looking at the streets below her. Less people than usual meant something was going on, or so she thought. "This is Red Rabbit to Gravity Man. Over," Red Rabbit announced as she tried out her new walkie-talkie. "What? Speak up! Speak up, Gravs!" "I haven't even said a word yet," responded Gravity Man. Thunder Woman's laugh was easily audible in the background. "If I did, I would have asked you why you're outside headquarters." "The streets started emptying," Red Rabbit responded, "as if a crowd is gathering somewhere else. I'm just making sure this isn't due to villainous activity." Red Rabbit leaped from her current building to the roof of another. "I assure you I'm very busy looking for some sort of clue right now." "Do you need backup?" "Unnecessary. Just relax in HQ without me." "Where did she say she was?" asked the apparition, leaning over Gravity Man's shoulder. "She's overthinking things again, I'll bet," responded Gravs. "Looking for something to do." "Oh, quiet, Elijah," sighed Red Rabbit. "You should know overthinking when you see— Aha! A crowd! Told ya! They look angry. Call you back." "I cannot hear you," said Gravity Man. "These walkie-talkies are awful. I'm putting mine away." "Over." Gravity Man hung up. Red Rabbit looked at the walkie-talkie and dropped it. "Yeah, he's right. I mean, what should I expect from one of my kids' toys?" Suddenly, a member of the crowd shouted Red Rabbit's name. The entire crowd roared with admiration and applause. Even Red Rabbit herself believed it was too much. "Whoa! Hi!" said Red Rabbit, hopping closer to the crowd. "What's going on? May I help?" "May I help?" echoed one of the citizens, turning towards an angry-looking man on a pedestal. "You speak ill of somebody who immediately wants to help. This proves it." The crowd turned away from Red Rabbit and began screaming at the man again. His angry expression didn't waver for a moment. "Listen to reason," he said. "The superheroes are bad news, unorganized, destructive. We need a better alternative." "How dare you!" shouted a woman, throwing a toaster at the man. He just narrowly dodged. "Why do you say that? How could you say that after they've helped us do so much?" "How many times must I say it?" gritted the man. "They destroyed my house, my entire house, carelessly. All I'm saying is that an improved police force wouldn't—" He was interrupted by more unapologetic jeering. As more stuff began getting thrown at him, Red Rabbit jumped in front of him and deflected lots of the projectiles. "You okay, sir?" Red Rabbit asked, looking over her shoulder at him. "I think we should get you out of here." The man pushed her away. Hard. He then glared at her in a way that made her nervous. "I'd rather take the projectiles than accept your help, you con." That made the crowd lose their minds with anger. As they began to pick up more stuff to throw, Red Rabbit held her hands up. "Guys, stop! No matter what, we shouldn't throw things at people like that. I mean it, no matter what. Unless they're a big supervillain, that is." She smiled through her mask, but only a few of the angry mob smiled back. The rest still glared at the man as he walked off, looking absolutely defeated. His face was that of utter contempt, a face of immeasurable anger, stress, and exhaustion. Red Rabbit, being a mom of 6, understands what it's like to be fed up. But this man has clearly had it rough. Horribly rough. 15 minutes passed, and Red Rabbit was still on the pedestal in thought. The crowd asked her to sign an assortment of items, all which she did half-heartedly. In fact, she was even asked to sign the very same toaster that was used as a projectile, an act which normally would amuse the humorous heroine. Unfortunately, during this moment, she hardly even thought about it. Gravs' condescending remarks wouldn't put her off this time. She wasn't overthinking anything. At all. She saw the pain in that innocent civilian's face and knew that it went against why she even became a superhero. She wanted people to feel at ease in their community. And this man clearly didn't. Where he was going next, he couldn't say. Not if he wanted to stay a free man. "Come in," purred Rainbow, sitting among his fellow crime lords once again. "We've been expecting you." "Yeah, I know," said the man from the public rally. "I got the letter. Who still uses letters?" Killer Whale and Goat Gruff looked nervously at Rainbow, but he didn't react to his guest's insolence. "Edgar Adams, I must say," began Rainbow, "the Ring of Malfeasance has taken note of your public rallies." "You mean the one a week ago where Wretched Rabbit intervened?" "I mean all of them," Rainbow said placidly. "You've been stirring up a storm ever since your house got destroyed, haven't you?" Edgar's glare subsided for a grin. "So you've been listening. Most of those schmucks thought that the Red Rabbit one was my first time. I ask you, do you think I could have annoyed a crowd that much if this was my first time?" "Absolutely not," Rainbow proclaimed, before wincing at Edgar putting his feet up on his precious table. "So you three are the heads of criminal activity in the city, huh?" Edgar noticed. "Why would you call upon me, a lowly activist in favor of a cleaner society? Not exactly your thing, I would think." "Because we have something in common," declared Killer Whale. "The superheroes have to go." "Surely you can't go around saying those things without a contingency plan," affirmed Goat Gruff. "So what's your plan? We want to help you." Edgar decided that maybe it was best not to tell them everything, but he wouldn't bury the lead either. "We need superheroes to be under one roof. Let's say it's mine. I propose a swift capture of all superheroes in a containment facility, where we can siphon their powers and put them in specialized agents. It'll end up looking similar to your business." Even Rainbow looked impressed with the plan. "That seems practically impossible to do, but the concept is favorable. How would you do it?" "Well, I was thinking of releasing and eventually betraying some of the lesser villains to do my bidding. Would come in handy, wouldn't it?" "Or," proposed Rainbow, "I could lend you some of the bodyguards for my business. Far more competent, and some of them actually have superpowers. Perhaps I have an engineering doctorate. That's entirely possible," confirmed Edgar Adams. "And I suppose you're only lending me the guards because you want to take partial credit?" "To be frank, no," said Rainbow. "The whole idea is too risky for me to accept credit. I just want to see the job done. Be sure to take the lesser heroes first and work your way up to the big ones." Edgar Adams stood up and walked down the table, eventually standing next to Rainbow. Extending a hand, the two shake. "Get out of here and make some of your power-siphoning weapon things," instructed Rainbow. "By the time the week is over, an entire battalion of my guards would be at your beck and call." "Fantastic," responded Edgar, making his way towards the door. "By the way, your dog is a rather nice dog." Rainbow presumably smiled as the automatic door closed behind him. Goat Gruff immediately turned towards Rainbow. "That was the most unstable idea I've ever heard, and you accepted it right then and there?" Rainbow gestured for him to quiet down and folded his arms on the glass table. "Remember what I was getting at last meeting? About how it would be favorable for us if society tore itself apart and we didn't have to get involved? That's exactly what this guy can provide. At the very least, a difficult situation for the heroes to handle. At the very most, with the help of my guards, this really could mean the end of our heroes." Killer Whale and Rainbow laughed, but Goat Gruff didn't. His own purple-skinned bodyguard, known as Troll, looked at him in confusion. Goat Gruff signaled for her to follow him. "Where are you going?" questioned Rainbow. "I can't believe you guys are going with that idea when my idea's been rejected for being unrealistic." he growled. "My idea will work. I'll find him, and I'll bring him back. I will bring back Devour." Goat Gruff grinned, expecting his fellow Ring of Malfeasance members to applaud or at least be surprised. The two just looked at each other and then back at him. They were obviously bored of his empty words. Goat Gruff angrily left the building. "Ooh, I'll show you both!" "Wow!" cheered Plasmatic, swinging from building to building on her signature slime. 2 weeks training and I already get to go on an emergency police broadcast. "I'd be happy just waiting in the Light Cycle's cockpit if I were you," Thunder Woman answered, patting her custom motorbike. "Beautiful, isn't she?" "Oh, she's a work of art," answered Plasmatic, making Thunder Woman smile. "I'm just excited to be able to say, 'Don't worry, officers, Plasmatic's on the case.' Wouldn't that be cool?" Thunder Woman chuckled a bit before parking the Light Cycle. "Plas, I love the enthusiasm, but I've come to find the penitentiary's emergencies don't often require a lot of skill to tackle. That's why a junior like you could possibly—" "Ahem!" gruffed Chief Herring, standing much closer than Thunder Woman expected. Plasmatic threw her head back and laughed at Thunder Woman, who turned a bright pink with shock and embarrassment. "I didn't actually mean it, I was just trying to get Plas to calm down. The things you cops do is very important. Please believe me." You're just lucky that this isn't a real emergency anyway," Chief Herring responded, raising an eyebrow. "No, really, all police emergencies are real emergencies. We have Sentry Silver standing by and everything." "No, I mean the alarm is false. It was insubordinately sounded." Thunder Woman and Plasmatic looked at each other. "So, should we just—" "It was not insubordinately rung," a voice sounded, running to catch up. A young woman, almost out of breath, made her way into the scene. She looked like she would be calm and well put together, if not for the horrified look in her eyes, that is. "Thunder Woman," she addressed, extending a hand. "My name is Ella Yang, also known as the lesser hero Pandemonium. I need to talk to Ish. I suspect danger." Chief Herring pointed at Ella, looking obviously frustrated. "See this? Ever since I found this kid dealing with the Receptor Trio, she's been nothing but trouble." "With all due respect, Chief," Ella responded, "I've been very helpful as your sketch artist ever since ISH's Big Three took down the Receptor Trio. I want to continue being helpful, so move aside." Plasmatic's eyes widened with admiration as the woman her age physically pushed the Chief of Police aside. "Anyway," said Ella, adjusting her hearing aid, "I rang the alarm because I think ISH is in serious danger." Thunder Woman stepped off the Light Cycle and held Ella's shoulders. "Listen, Ella, I need you to calm down. That's coming from me. Just calm down and think about what you're going to say." Ella took a deep breath. "Okay. Remember about 2 weeks ago when that random man made everybody riot? Well, his name's Edgar Adams. The cops have been trying to find him with no luck." "We think nothing of it," interrupted Chief Herring. "He probably knows that he caused a fuss and is hiding away for a while. That man almost got hit with a toaster." "You think nothing of it," claimed Ella, once again defying the Chief. "We haven't had somebody go off the grid like that since the Ring of Malfeasance. I suspect they're in cahoots." Chief Herring folded her arms. "The man seemed really serious about getting rid of superheroes," Ella whined. "I just want to make sure that you guys are okay. Us heroes have to stick together." "She's been flying around in her bizarre supersuit when not on duty," Chief Herring added. "She's Pandemonium, if you know who that is." Suddenly, Plasmatic snapped her fingers in realization. "Oh, Pandemonium! I remember where I heard that name now. You were that giant metal panda that kept fixing old buildings, right? So cool, man. So cool." Ella blushed before gently handing her and Thunder Woman a flip-open transmitter. It was small, practical, and in the shape of a panda's head. "I rang the alarm so that I could give you these," said Ella. "I call them panda transmitters. They send signals to my hearing aid. Press the middle button and it'll broadcast a cry for help. So, if you ever need me." "Oh, heck yeah!" shouted Plasmatic, flipping hers open. "We're gonna need 7 more of these. Oh man, Cosmos is gonna love this." Thunder Woman grinned like a baby looking at a lollipop. "Ella, this is so sweet of you. I'll be sure to tell Red Rabbit of your patronage. Maybe she'll even make room on the team for a giant robot panda with super strength. And actually, interrupted Ella, I don't trust myself with that commitment just yet. I don't even have a home in the big city. I'm living with the chief. Chief Herring nodded her head. She tried to look annoyed and fed up, but you could easily tell that she wasn't. I think I've got to find myself before I let you put your faith in me, said Ella. But please, watch your backs and feel free to ask for help every now and then. After all, I might end up joining you guys later.
"Ha ha, yes, troll!" cheered Goat Gruff. "Finally, you found a scent! The 2-week search is worth it after all!"
The enormous muscular humanoid sniffed the air around her and began walking forward. Gruff, she sighed, what makes you think this will be a good idea? Something tells me Devourer doesn't want to be disturbed.
"Oh, why? Because nobody's seen him in decades?" responded Goat Gruff. "Phooey! I've got charisma, I've got an offer for him, and I'm sure he'll be all for it."
You got charisma?
Yes, I have charisma, he shouted. "At least enough charisma to charm an idiot monster like Devour."
Quiet, hushed Troll.
We're getting closer to his hideout.
Goat Gruff stayed quiet as they walked further into the dark alleyway, further away from the public, further away from the light.
"Are we nearly there yet?" whined Goat Gruff. "Because I swear, if you smelt someone else instead of
Everybody has a scent," interjected Troll, "but none stink quite like Devour's. We're close. I know it." "Closer than you think," grumbled a voice in the dark. It was unmistakable in its deep raspiness. The two jumped out of their skin as an enormous green eye suddenly became visible, about as large as Goat Gruff's head, with a slim violet-colored pupil. "Devour," said Goat Gruff, looking at a script he wrote on his hand. "About time we meet. I admired you for quite some—" "Have a seat," commanded Devour. "It's dark, I know, but that doesn't mean it's not comfortable. Please sit down." The two did as they were told. "Now," began Devour, "which question will you answer first?" Goat Gruff had to stop his legs from shaking.
"Huh?
Why you know me, what you're doing here, or why I shouldn't eat you right here and now." Goat Gruff could hardly contain himself and stood back up.
"I know you because, even though you're in the dark, everybody still knows about you. You were created by scientists to get rid of the ghosts during the Age of the Haunting, right?"
"Thanks for my life story," he groaned, "although I am surprised it's still told."
"Well," said Goat Gruff, "I love me a good revenge story. You've been sitting here by yourself for decades, hungry for ghosts that no longer roam the earth. For my answer to the second question, I figured we could help each other."
"What do you mean, stranger?" he said, picking at his teeth.
"I'm from an organization of criminal masterminds called the Ring of Malfeasance. We keep close tabs on superheroes and think of all the ways to eradicate them. One such superhero can summon ghosts, and I immediately thought of you."
"Summon ghosts?"
"Exactly! He's called the Apparition, and his army of ghostly dogs come in dozens. We figured if we can force him to feed you the ghosts, you'll get powered enough to destroy the city that you hate so much, and the Ring can take over from there."
Devour couldn't resist laughing. Laughing because he was impressed, laughing because he was surprised, laughing wickedly at the idea of swallowing ghost dogs. "Are there really enough ghosts to keep me fed? I haven't eaten in decades, you know." He lurched closer, licking his lips with a long tongue. "Which brings me to question number 3. Goat Gruff backed up towards the light, Troll putting her hands up in case things got ugly.
"You shouldn't eat me because you can't," he said confidently. "You were built to eat ghosts and can only eat ghosts."
You sure?" said Devour, finally showing himself in the light, a huge, neglected, filthy orange monster with a meaty build and a wide grin. "I'm really hungry."
Yeah, I'm sure you are, which is why we should work together. I'll capture the Apparition so you can eat, and you'll power up enough to take over the city. Eat me now, and you'll stay here for decades more with no direction."
Devour looked at the puny human with some form of respect. You show up here, answer all of my questions with certainty, and offer me a chance to show those civilians what I'm made of. Are the other members of the Ring of Whoever as foolishly committed as you?
Devour as soon as they see you with me, declared Goat Gruff. We'll both be standing atop this ungrateful, unfair city.
The two shook hands, Devour squeezing tight, and just like that, a pact was sealed. Everyone, I have an important announcement! The next episode of the series is going to be exclusively for fan art showcasing. Because we're a small community right now, I believe everybody's fan art will be included in one way or another. Submit your fan art to my Discord, Danimal Magnetism, from the beginning. And if you see fan art on some other platform, I would love to put it in the video, but I likely won't see it. If that happens, I will allow people to send other people's art to my DMs as long as the original artist is credited. Okay? I will not tolerate stolen art. I will not tolerate stolen art. I don't really take you guys to do that sort of thing anyway, so I'm really excited to see some of your creative input. As of now, check out these drawings of fan comics my sister made. Thank you, and take care.
Oh, and by the way, if you'd like to write a comment about which piece of fan art shown here is your favorite, I think Rose would greatly appreciate it.